Chapter 18. Pharaoh called his chief superintendent, and said unto him, As to the Hebrew brickmakers, thou shalt no longer supply them with straw, but they shall gather stubble themselves, and they shall continue to make the same number of bricks. And as to the tillers of the soil, thou shalt no longer suffer them to have cattle to draw the plows, but they shall draw the plows themselves, and they shall likewise break the same quantity of ground. And in this way the king put extra hardships upon the Israelites, because he was angered at what Moses said. Moses, perceiving this, cried out unto Jehovah, saying, O why didst thou send me before Pharaoh? Behold, matters are worse than before. O that I had guarded my tongue, and been of persuasive speech. Jehovah said to Moses,
Rebuke not thyself, for thou hast done my commands. And it shall come to pass now, what otherwise would not. For such Israelites as hesitated about going out of Egypt, will now decide for themselves as to what they will do. And the hardships that Pharaoh hath newly added, shall be a blessing to thy people.
And it came to pass that the Israelites went away from their taskmasters, and the Rabbah sent them to the heads, and the people of Israel were stirred up from one end of Egypt to the other. And as for the Egyptians, save the courtiers and nobles, they were likewise stirred up, but without any purpose or order, so that all the great land of Egypt had no tillers nor builders, and cleanliness departed away from them, and the country stank as a dead carcass, so that insects and vermin filled all the air of heaven. But of the Fathists, the flesh was good, and famine came not upon them, nor were they stricken with fevers, or lepers, or scabs, like the Egyptians. Pharaoh ordered his army of 200,000 men to take the field, but lo, and behold, they were scattered and afflicted, so that they were only as vagrants, without head or discipline. Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying,
Now will I show her philosophers a miracle in the air above the earth. Have they not said, All things come up out of the earth? For they have tried every way to put me aside, and to explain my creation away as an idle tale. They shall look and see the sun, and declare of the truth there is no cloud. But whilst they look up, they shall see a cloud high up in the heavens, and it shall be broad as the land of Egypt, a very black cloud. And it shall descend to the earth, and it shall prove to be locusts, come without any seed. And they shall be so numerous that in 3 days they will eat up every green leaf of every tree and herb in all the land. Neither shall they be like any other locusts that have been on the earth or ever shall be. For man shall comprehend that they are not of the seed of the earth.
Moses sent with the herald this prophecy to the king, and he added thereto, Why hast thou put more hardships on my people? Seest thou not that the evil thou hadst hoped to accomplish hath cured itself even before it came to pass? For the Israelites now work not at all, and their taskmasters are left in the lurch. Again I call upon thee to let my people go. The king replied not to this, but silently put his officers to work, drilling and equipping his armies, and collecting them together, the which, when Moses beheld it, he understood to be the sign, as the Great Spirit had previously said, when the cloud would appear. And it came to pass on a very clear day, at noon, a cloud formed high up in the firmament, and it grew blacker and blacker, until it descended upon the earth, and it was locusts, and was even as a snowstorm that covereth the land of the earth, in places to the depth of the shoes and ankles. And they fell to eating every green leaf, and herb, and grass, so that in 2 days there was not a leaf to be found far or near. And on the 3rd day, the locusts being still unappeased as to hunger, fell upon the Egyptians, old and young, feeding upon their clothes, and even upon the flesh of the Egyptians. And on the 4th day Jehovah caused a great wind to come, and it blew the locusts off into the sea. And again Moses sent heralds to the king, saying, Consider now my words, and be wise. I have told thee that the hand of the Creator is upon this land. In thy heart thou sayest, Moses is a fool? Only a windstorm fetched the locusts from a far-off country. But I say unto thee, O king, this is not so. And thou shalt still further behold Jehovah's power. For as the locusts came down out of the firmament, and thou hast a philosophy for the occurrence, behold, now another miracle shall come in another way, for there shall suddenly come up out of the water frogs and reptiles, and they shall likewise be so numerous on the land that man shall not find where to put his foot, that it shall not come upon them. And the first day they shall be harmless, but on the second day they shall crawl upon the people, and under their clothes, and in their houses. And on the third day they shall eat the flesh of the Egyptians. But they shall not touch one Hebrew in all the land. Nor shall any man find whence came so many frogs and reptiles, for they shall not be like the seed of other frogs and reptiles. And on the fifth day they shall suddenly disappear, neither by wind nor rain. But a stench, as of rotten flesh, shall strangle the Egyptians nigh unto death. Again I appeal unto thee, O king, to suffer my people to depart out of Egypt in peace. This is the last time I shall solicit thee. And if thou answerest not me, then shall it come to pass in the month Abib, and on the 9th day and night thereof, Jehovah will raise his hand over Israel, but as for Egypt, thy Lord shall strike her in death. For in every family of Egyptians, far and near, on that night shall the firstborn fall dead, and that thou shalt not say the prophecy killed them. Behold, the firstborn of every beast shall die also, even of goats, and sheep, and cattle, and asses, and of dogs and cats, and of every living creature man useth. For on that night, behold, 4 millions of Israelites shall make with Jehovah the covenant of death. And on the morning thereafter they will rise up to not lie down again in Egypt. And this shall be the testimony of innocent blood against thyself, and all thy people, for what the Hebrews have suffered.